comes out. Mr. Brittas wants the light to be just right.
It's only a photo, not Lawrence of Arabia.
Hey, it's not going to be a right big bang, is it? I don't want to give birth.
No, it's muffled. It's just 4 concrete walls. They'll implode. As long as there is nothing inside, there won't be any debris either.
And how many 7-year-olds you could fit in there?
Sorry about that, Mr. Humphreys. I said sorry about that, Mr. Humphreys. You now have my undivided attention, sir.
Yes. Well, if you're sure.
Yes, Julie?
I've got you the Met Office.
Thank you, Julie. With you in a micro sec. Hello, Gordon Brittas, Whitbury Newtown Leisure Centre. Oh, you've heard of us, have you? Yes, well, you see, we've reached a bit of a cloudy spell at the moment, so I was wondering if you could confirm when we can next expect a gap of sunshine of at least 10 clear minutes. I'd have thought it was pretty easy, actually. At the moment, we have bands of cumulostratus, usually indicative of a fast-moving weather front. All you've got to do is cross-reference our map position, 5135 north, 2 west, with your latest satellite map, and then measure the wind speed, and Bob's your uncle. All right? Bye. Bye. Right, where were we, Mr. Humphreys?
Now, you've made an application to our office for your centre to be registered as a...
It's all right, Mr. Humphreys. It's only a regular Wednesday morning fire alarm test. You are very jumpy, aren't you? What I recommend to you is our Health Spa de-stress programme, tailor-made for people like yourself who suffer from premature ageing.
Look, I am fine. It's just sudden noises. I just spent 3 months on the Isle of Iona supervising the underpinning of the monastery. I still haven't got reacclimatised.
Do excuse me. Hello, my darling. It's going to have to be quick, I'm afraid. Really? I'm very proud, Helen. Very, very proud indeed. Now, you be careful. You've not done this sort of exercise before.
I've got a message from the Met Office for you.
All right, thanks, Julie. Now, my darling, what I suggest you do is some warm-up exercises, because you're going to put a lot of pressure on your femur. What I suggest is 10 groin squeezes. What is it, Julie?
Right, well, they said the next sunny interval will be at 11:35 and last 12.5 minutes. There will then be a short shower which should just clear the filthy air at the east end of the car park.
Excellent, Julie.
I think they were being facetious, Mr. Brittas.
Gotta go now, my darling. Yes, I'm behind you 110% of the way. All right? Bye. Nah. Mr. Humphreys, how many men can boast of a wife who at the age of 40 decides to take up jumping?
Are you feeling better, Mrs. Brittas?
Armitage shanks.
Pardon?
Toilet bowls, they're always Armitage shanks, aren't they? I tell a lie. I saw an Ideal Standard just after breakfast.
Oh, don't cry, Ben. I'm sure there might be a party bag at the end of the day.
Can we have some more balloons up there, please?
Yes, of course, Mr. Mendip. I'm very sorry I tried to get Ben invited to your party. It was very pushy of me. Especially when you'd got all the numbers worked out. They've just got to learn, haven't they? A good dose of sitting all alone, listening to all the happy, laughing voices. I think a child lucky enough to get a head start in paranoia and insecurity.
Yeah, all right. Let him come.
Oh, Ben, you shall go to the party. That's if it's all right, Mr. Oh, Ben, stop that. Put that sword away. Not now. Now, if you could just do this. Push the button here. Now, Ben's right side is his best, and he usually prefers the last present and pass the parcel, if that's all right, Mr. Mindy.
No.
Hold on.
He's busy!
Mr. Humphreys?
I am not stressed! Now, You've made application to us at English Heritage for your leisure centre to be registered as a Grade 1 listed building, Mr. Brittas. This status is usually conferred on buildings of a distinguished architectural and historical nature.
Precisely, which is why we have a duty to ensure that in 100 years from now, Whitbury Newtown Leisure Centre is still standing proud and erect, a monument to the great golden age of publicly available sport and leisure facilities with ample parking.
Oh, my God!
1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Can be. Toggles.
Are you sure you want to go through with this?
Oh, yes. My therapist said the only way you can really re-energise your life is to confront your own mortality. You think of your own worst nightmare, your worst phobia, submit yourself to it, conquer it, and you should come out of it purged of all your self-negative feelings. I don't have any phobias. Confined spaces, open spaces, drownings, electrocutions, being buried alive never really bothered me. I mean, when you're married to Gordon, you get quite used to them all. Then I thought, heights.
5 minutes!
Ever since our honeymoon. 2 weeks for the price of one at the Holiday Inn, Croydon. Gordon said he wanted to go there so he could see the diving board at the Crystal Palace Sports Centre. Apparently it's the highest in the country. There we were, right at the top. Gordon saying you just got to admire the cantilever tip-up seating system, their digital lane timers. And suddenly he slipped. I think it was his hush puppies. And I just froze. I can see it now. Standing at the top, peering over. Gordon hurtling through space. Those synchronised swimmers, small as dots, but...
Down the corridor. Second on the right.
We'll aim for the field next to the racecourse.
That Mrs. Brittas, isn't she the wife of...
Yeah.
Wasn't he the one who...
Yeah.
I know what you did was...
I know.
It was VE Day celebrations, damn it.
I know.
Have you seen the state of the swimming pool? I mean, there's food in it, wrappers, bits of donut. One child hasn't even bothered to use the toilet.
Oh, don't. You're making me all nostalgic for Blackpool Beach.
Gavin! There's been another accident in the pool. Well, several actually, and I think it's something the kids have eaten.
Why do you think that?
I spent all last Saturday making these sandwiches. What a waste.
I see what you mean.
Still, never mind. We can scrape off the marge, take out the ham, clean film it all again till next time.
Well, it'll have to be cleaned up. We've got those natural childbirth semi-finals coming in later on. Tim, could you...
When I'm in charge of the canteen, I will never have to do this sort of thing again.
Yeah, so as a final gesture, if you could just run over the surface with net and skimmer, I'll...
Yes?
Well, do the liaising with Mr. Brittas, keep him updated with progress reports and stuff.
Gavin?
Yes, Mr. Brittas.
At this precise moment, Mr. Humphreys of English Heritage is touring our centre with a view to recommending that it be preserved as one of the nation's jewels, alongside Stonehenge, Westminster Abbey and Brockenhurst Volleyball Centre. Wouldn't it be a pity if his impressions were coloured by the rubbish bags outside the emergency exit?
Yes, Mr. Brittas.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't even think about it.
Oh no, it's my best Paul Smith.
All right, Gavin.
Oh, Linda, couldn't give us a hand, could you? Mr. Brittas wants these hidden away from the English Heritage Inspector. I thought we'd just put them in there for now. All right.
OK.
Great.
Oi! I thought I was lending a hand.
Yes, I just thought I'd tell Mr. Brittas
Yes?
that you're lending a hand. Otherwise, he might wonder where you are, that sort of thing. Staff liaison.
What a mess. Well, that's kids.
Vasectomies, they're so easy.
Well, we'll have to drain the pool.
No need to drain the pool.
Where did you get that?
Well, it can't be Whitbury Scuba Club. They haven't been back since we covered the pool for the night, and they were still in there.
It's amazing what you can pick up at a car boot sale nowadays. I've just found this spare tank of air. Now, we'll use the skimmer for the liquid stuff on the surface, and any stubborn bits or stuff that's stuck in the filter, I'll pick up my hand into my underwater scooper. Should be done in a jiffy if you could just give me a hand. I should be about 20 minutes, Tim.